What up, bitches? It's the Misanthropic One, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant. First of all, please accept my apologies. I know I should have dropped a couple of reviews within the past week, maybe week and a half. I made a big order to undergroundhiphop.com, which is a site that I love. I get a lot of my CDs and shit over there. And there was an issue with, I believe, it was an issue with Fashawn's album, The Ecology, his latest album. Their distributor or whatever said that they had a certain amount, but they didn't, and I ordered one, so they had to hold my order. I made a big order, and that held up the order. So all them CDs that I should have been listened to and had videos out for, like Cannibal Ox is one, Omniscience is another one, you know, all them newer releases, Malik B and Mr. Green, yeah, they're all coming down. They're all coming down, so bear with me. Kendrick Lamar, that's a different story. That one got pushed out early. Shout out to Anthony Fantano. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have known about it. And I have the physical copy, so I will be pushing that one out quickly, as soon as possible. But this is a video that needs to be done, and it has to do with blacks justifying the bullshit that goes on in their communities, in their own neck of the woods. It's fucking stupid, if you ask me. And as of late, I had few people say that, well, one in particular, say that my views are problematic, even though my views have never shot anybody. My views have never sold dope to my own people. My views have never impregnated stupid whores. But nevertheless, this isn't the first time I've heard this. People say that my views of society are fucked up, which is fine. I accept that, because I don't want to be bohemian. I don't want to be traditional. You know, I like to pave my own way. I have my own train of thought. You know, I'm not monolithic. I don't believe in everything half you Negroes believe in. I just don't. I have my own way of thinking, and that's the way I encourage other people to think, because variety is the spice of life. I believe in people being different. If everyone thought the same, life would suck. And I've said this before. But okay, this person in particular, well, I'm just gonna say your name, DJ Mid. He came onto one of my videos. I believe it was the Black Women, Simps, and the Self-Hatred Excuse. And somehow the conversation got brought into, oh yeah, I remember, because I was wearing the Tommy Sotomayor shirt that said Black Lives Matter only when a white person takes it, you know. So someone had commented, I believe it was this dude Johnny Bravo, or I forget, someone commented saying, oh, I don't agree with that, blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna paraphrase it. So DJ Mid got in, and I basically asked those two people, listen, so you're for blacks killing blacks? Because logically, that's the conclusion I'm gonna come to, because I'm against that. That's what the shirt is implying, that Negroes have outrage when it comes to a white person doing it, but when black people run around and do the same thing, y'all don't say shit. It's not the same amount of outrage. Let me put it that way. when you have a white cop or a white person that runs around and they'll shoot one of you dudes. Oh, it's a whole media fucking frenzy. You got marches, hands up, don't shoot. You have all this bullshit, but you got niggas doing the same thing at an alarming rate. And it's not the same. It's not the same fervor that a lot of you niggas are putting out there. It's not the same fucking fervor. So that was my point. You know, it's not the same shit. So basically when I asked the question, so you guys are for blacks killing other blacks, because again, I'm against the selective outrage, more or less. So DJ Mid came on and said to me, he left, you know, a long ass response, but from the gist of it, well, first he says, I'm not gonna even answer that silly question. You should already know that I'm not for it. Do black men kill other black men? Yes, but it has more to do with proximity than having a propensity for violence. My God. Oh my fucking God. It has to do with proximity, he says. You know, it just, and I know he's a subscriber. I'm sorry, dude, but I can't agree with it. To me, that's such an asinine analysis of why black people kill each other. Black men kill other black men. That's I'm not buying that for a minute. Number one, I'm gonna shout out my man, the Chad Factor. I'm gonna shout him out and say this. Check out his radio show, his internet radio show. He put out one months back with Painless Risen, David Carroll, and Akwesi 100, aka the brother of Logic and Common Sense. And someone came on there and used that same argument. And what do you call it? I think it was, yeah, Akwesi said, well, if you travel to Park Avenue in New York, or Fifth Avenue, I believe, I forget where he said, he goes, you have, well, both of them are pretty much crowded. He goes, well, there's white people living on top of white people over there, and nothing's happening. And then Painless went in because the thing that most of you Negroes like to use is, well, it's poor communities. You like to blame the economy. So Painless said, well, I forget the town that he mentioned. He goes, there's a slum full of that's predominantly white people, poor white people that live in this slum, and they're not killing each other. What does that tell you? You know, you have Tommy Sotomayor talked about it in a recent video, saying that he was, while he was driving through Kansas, he was encountering poor white slums where niggas had no teeth and they weren't killing each other. He said Oklahoma, Tornado Alley, same thing. They weren't killing each other. You don't hear anything there. So what the fuck does that tell you? I mean, one of these things is just not like the others. You know, it just doesn't make sense. You can't sit there and say, well, because y'all live next to each other, it's just gonna happen. No. That's insane, especially with the black man's sentiment that the enemy is white supremacy or the white man. That's the enemy. So you would think that logically, okay, I'm not gonna go out and shoot my brother in the back. I'm not gonna go shoot him over fucking some trash bitch. I'm not gonna go shoot him over a rap song. I'm not gonna go shoot my brother over fucking a bag of M&Ms. No, with that mentality that white supremacy is out to get you, you would think, nah, I'm not gonna shoot this dude. I'm not gonna shoot another black man. You know, I wouldn't condone shooting anybody, but I'm just saying, with that sentiment, logically, you would think that would be the outcome. But no. You're out shooting each other. There should be no reason for it if that's the black man sentiment. That's my point. The other thing that DJ Mid brought up that I want to discuss is he said, well, why does the terminology exist? Black on black crime. Why does that exist? Why does that terminology exist? Well, simple. Because when you have white people that are the majority and they observe black people, and I know what y'all gonna say, well, white people came up with the terminology. Okay, fine, I'm gonna run with that. Let me not just say white people. Anyone non-black observe Negroes and their struggles from slavery down to segregation, systematic racism, all the way up until the Black Power movement, Black Fists in the Air and all of that. Black love, black unity. When they observe all of that shit and you turn around and today you have niggas running around shooting motherfuckers up for trivial purposes, trivial reasons. You're not getting anywhere. It doesn't do anything for nobody. Just perpetuate stereotypes that already exist about your black ass. Yeah, that terminology is gonna come to pass. It just has to exist, because when you see that, you say, wow, these guys really got something going here. Because a lot of non-black people were around during the civil rights movement, more than most people think, that were sitting there trying to help out and saying, wow, these people, they got some shit going here. They got power, they got a love for each other, I'ma back that up. And now when you turn around and you got these no good niggas, fucking no good whores, and want to kill people over these fucking hood rat whores that don't do nothing for you, nothing, don't contribute nothing good to society. Yeah, there's gonna be a terminology for that called black on fucking black crime, because these niggas are raised by fucking single ass mothers who make dumb decisions time after time after time after time, and these dudes get overly emotional. You walk around, you might scuff some dude's Tim, and then next thing you know, niggas pulling out a gat and blowing your brains out. I mean, listen, that just is what it is. I mean, you can't deny it. It's the truth. I mean, look at last year. I forget what weekend was it. Was it July 4th or was it Father's Day? Or I forget what weekend it was. But just in Chicago alone, just that one weekend, you had over 80 fucking shootings. What does that tell you? Black men shooting other black men for what? It's not proximity. No. You can't say that. Let me jump back on that. It's not proximity, because back before, when we were segregated, when blacks were living among blacks, it forced black men to go out and be fucking responsible. Come back, take care of the motherfucking family. You had Black Wall Street. You had all of that. You didn't have black men going out and shooting other black men. So you can't use or killing other, well, of course you're gonna find one or two stupid cases, but it's not because of the bullshit that exists today. It's not the same. There was no black on black crime back then. It didn't exist. The terminology didn't exist. Do you notice that? That terminology came to pass, what, I guess you would say maybe in the 90s? Maybe in the 90s into 2000. It's more prevalent today. So proximity got nothing to do with it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not gonna buy that bullshit, because that's insanity. You know, black men especially should be fucking logical. When you sit there and say, oh, we're the creators of civilization, we want to be acknowledged as kings. Well, act like a fucking king. Be fucking civilized. Stop sitting, running around with pants hanging off your fucking black ass, and then getting mad when niggas profile you. You can't do that. I mean, come on. It don't make fucking sense. So I'm not gonna buy that whole proximity bullshit. Nah, I ain't running with that. That's a lame argument. I'm sorry, DJ Mid, but I will look up them books that you did recommend. I am gonna go look into those because I like to, you know, I like to gather knowledge from everywhere. So I will look up them books. So I will shout you out for that. But all that other proximity shit, I'm sorry, that's bullshit to me. The next thing that I want to talk about, which is along the same lines, is I forget which video this was, but someone came up to me and said, because I said black people turn around and sell drugs to their own people, like that, again, the sentiment is, oh, white supremacy or white people are the bad guys. So why are you selling drugs to your own people if your sentiment is white people did this to you and white people put the drugs in here so I could sell them to other people, to my people, excuse me. I had someone come on there, I forget the dude's name, said, well, it shows that black people have an entrepreneurial mindset. So I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, if you look at rappers like Dre, I think Dre, he mentioned 50 Cent is one. You know, certain rappers have talked about Jay-Z, and he was like, yeah, they turned a negative into a positive, but you can see that they're very entrepreneurial, that it shows that black people are entrepreneurial. Lord have mercy. Okay. I can agree with that to a very minimal extent. The mindset, okay, I can kind of understand what you mean by that. But the reason why I don't agree with saying that or verbalizing that, same thing with this proximity bullshit that DJ Mid was talking about, is because when you come out there and say things like this, that gives these Negroes a reason to go out and do this shit. You're letting them sit back and say, well, this is okay, fuck it. But if you talk to those rappers, let me stay on this subject, this recent subject. If you talk to these rappers, if you talk to Jay-Z or 50 Cent, you know what they'll tell you? They'll tell you, yeah, you know what? I did what I had to do so my son and my next generation and the generation after that don't have to do it. So, I mean, that's what I get from it. That's the positivity, I guess, that I would pull from that. But nowadays, I can't let that entrepreneurial shit fly, because if this was back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even early 90s, I would buy that. But nowadays, when you have the internet and you have multiple opportunities, you know, I can't let that slide. I can't let you get away with that. Because even if you notice, some of these newer rappers, a lot of them that are coming out, they aren't really rapping about that shit. What does that tell you? I mean, listen, please stop coming out here with analysis, with weak reasons or statements why black people are running around killing each other. It shouldn't happen, period. If your sentiment is black people should stick together, you shouldn't be doing anything, if you're a black man, to any other black man. You know, talk about all that uplifting that you want me to do, which I don't edify people. I'm gonna put it on video again. I don't edify nobody, but you be about what your sentiment is. Don't run around telling, say, oh yeah, white supremacy is keeping us down, and meanwhile you're the same nigga that runs around selling dope to your own people. Nah, I'm not buying that bullshit. Fuck that. You know, but that's basically all I want to say. I don't want to ramble, even though I kind of did. I want to shout out my man Keith Huggy Pacino and all my people in the Tommy Sotomayor Facebook group. Shout out to y'all. And again, I apologize with the reviews. I will be getting on it. This week I'm going to try to stay busy so I could ship some of these fucking videos out. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Negroes, y'all need to wake up. Stop doing stupid shit. Be smart. You know your history. Go study some shit. You know, so you could build a better future. And that's all I gotta say. I know there's probably gonna be a part 2 to this, so I might just label this part 1. So if you see it as part 1, don't expect a part 2 too soon unless I get pissed off. All right. And that's it. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe. All right. Peace, bitches.